As a part of the chosen excerpts in relation to the topic that we're talking about, we have to understand that the forces of good and evil, they're becoming equal. The Creator has created one opposite the other, and this is how they're supposed to be inside the person. And therefore, we do not prefer the force of good, called bestowal. It's not according to how we feel, but the force of bestowal versus the force of reception, both have to be equal. The Creator has created one opposite the other, and therefore light and darkness, states of descent and ascent, everything that we have, we can divide them into one opposite the other, and we have to see both as equally important to relate to these two forces of creation, that we have to know how to work with both. How do we arrange them so that even though that we want to use bestow upon the vessels of reception, but still, how can we bestow in the vessels of bestowal? No such thing. We lack the force of bestowal. The force of bestowal is the Creator in and of Himself, and we have only the force of reception. Those that can use the force of reception in order to bestow, that as if we bestow through reception. And therefore, the states in which we do not feel a sense of elation, connection, bestowal, giving, but to the contrary, where we feel that we're lacking forces, we have no uplifted spirits, we have to understand that this is because our will to receive is being increased, the as if negative force, upon which later on we can increase the positive force. There cannot be one without the other, but they come on and off, one opposite the other, one after the other, and therefore we have to respect the force of reception, being our nature, just like the force of bestowal, not to disregard it. It's something that you have to learn, seriously learn how to do. I'd say that this is more mature learning, where we do not disregard the bad, that no, it's like this, it's like that, no. But in those periods where I do not attain, where I'm not in uplifted spirits, maybe I'm not even in control of myself, and I feel that I'm forgetting words, and I don't really understand where I am altogether. All of these things, these are signs of a new degree, that I'm still disoriented, and therefore do not become despaired of these states. The despair of one's forces needn't be in a time of descent, not at all. The feeling of descent is additional will to receive, which is the Creator adding more and more creation onto me, and therefore I examine, how am I growing in relation to the still, the vegetative, the animate, and all the other degrees of the speaking, precisely because I have a larger ego. Anyone greater than his friend, his desires are greater than his. And therefore, changing our attitude toward the unpleasant states, that I'm in the dark and helplessness, in a bad mood, I'm disoriented to the point where I really have no idea what's going on. These states are very important, and therefore there needn't be despair of one's own forces here, but to the contrary, there has to be joy from the adding of forces of reception, true. But would I be able to grow without them? No. You measure each and every degree according to the measure of the will to receive in it. How much will to receive do you have? And afterwards, according to the corrections. But the basis is the will to receive. And if I get a burdening, a greater will to receive, it's a sign that I too will be able to acquire Masach and Or Chozer and build a Partzuf and build an even higher degree than now. Whereas if I will not feel despair, dissent, burdening of the heart, burdening of the mind, then I will have nothing to overcome and how to arrange these desires and ascend. Therefore, we have to overcome everything that we are going through in goal-oriented fashion. And therefore, if it's darkness, then it is. If it's light, then it is. You have a good mood, you don't. You're confused, you're brilliant. You have to go through all the states. The main thing is that I will not prefer one to the other, but I will make room for all of them. They both come from above, and this is how I grow. And only if I arrange both correctly do I build the Tzimtzum, Masach, Or Chozer, Partzuf, and my action in order to bestow to the Creator.